guys. We're doing continuing review for the Bell. It's Bell work, but it's your algebra review. This is your benchmark review. So Monday we start the benchmark, Monday and Tuesday. Benchmark test will be in the computer lab. And hopefully you'll do well on it. Some of you are already on the list to spend the first week of spring break with Mr. Edmonston and do poorly on the benchmark, and the list will grow. Okay, I still have about 15 slots. Okay, so you pretty much can tell if you have a D or an F in here, you will be on the list for intercession.
So if you don't have D or an F, you're not going to intercession.
Unless you do bad on the benchmark. So you still have a chance. You still have a chance of getting in there with your buddies.
My buddies are in there?
All right, so the first one, solve for the zeros. What do we use when we solve for zeros?
Quadratic.
What? Quadratic formula. Okay, we all know the quadratic formula, right? Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So that makes this not too difficult, except that we're going to come out with, let's see, is this one where we come out with a strange answer? No. Okay, so remember when you use quadratic, a equals 2, b equals 5. What's my c going to equal?
0.
Okay, good, because if I don't have anything there, then it's a 0. If I had, if the equation had been 2x squared plus 5, then I'm missing b, so b would be 0. Okay, if there's a missing part to it, then that part is 0. So then I just have to work this out. Negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times 0 divided by 2 times 2, or negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25, because 4 times 2 times 0 is going to give me a 0. Divided by 4. Square root of 25 is 5, so I have negative 5 plus or minus 5 divided by 4. All right, so negative 5 plus 5 divided by 4 is going to give me, give me 0, because negative 5 plus 5 is 0. 0 over 4 is 0. But negative 5 minus 5 over 4 is going to give me negative 10 over 4, which is a negative 2.5 or 2.5 or 5 halves.
So the zeros are 2.5.
Right.
Oh,
Zeros
I got
are
it.
negative 2.5 and 0. Negative 2.5 and 0. And again, when you're doing the benchmark, I don't know how they're going to phrase that answer. Okay, when it's like that, I don't know if that answer might be 5 halves, it might be 2.5, it might be 2.5. But we know that those are all the same thing. Okay, the second one, we're going to sketch the graph. What do we have to know to sketch a graph?
H and K.
H and K. Well, yeah, we have to know H and K because we have to know the vertex. It's going to be a parabola. So we just start out by having to know that. And it's going to be a parabola that goes in which direction?
Up.
Down.
Well,
It's gonna be negative. It goes up.
well, one,
Because you're throwing it up.
No, we're talking about 2. So is our
Oh.
parabola going to be a U or a camel hump?
it's gonna be
You.
you.
It's going to be a U because
Boom.
A is positive. Okay, so we have negative 2 over 2 equals negative 1. That's H. K is 4 times 1 times 4 minus 2 squared over 4. Or 16 minus 4 over 4, or 16 minus 4 over 4, 12 over 4, or 3. So my vertex is at negative 1, 3. Negative 1, 3. Do I need to graph this? Am I going to look for my zeros? Because when I graph it, I'm going to be over here. And I'm going to make a U. So I'm not going to have any zeros. Because it's not going to intersect the x-axis. So look for your vertex first. If it had been a negative x squared, so that it went the other way, then I would have zeros to find, so that I could see where it was going to cross the x-axis. Okay, is that clear? You guys see what I'm talking about with that? Because that's going to be important when you take the test, that you understand that. Okay, and number 3, you're hiking in the mountains and climb a ledge 20 feet above you. The important part of this whole word problem, and that's the thing about word problems, is find what's important. The rest of it's fluff. Find what's important. And then, it's kind of like, this is kind of like piece paragraphs. Really. But the math version.
I like any version.
I like the, I'm so glad we got done with that. First, you guys, what, I only had to do it 6, 7 times?
only 7.
And we're still doing it. Still English.
Okay, so I think we ought to go back and do it again, maybe. Start all over, because now you guys know everything about it.
I
Well,
know
we have to write
nothing.
essays in English, probably, so.
Both dropped that thing today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
No.
Wait till you see our project for next quarter.
There should not be a project in order.
Is
There
it
has to be.
Jacob's? Is it
Why?
Jacob's?
Yeah,
Is it, yes.
I think, yeah, that was your idea, right?
Wait, we get partner, right?
No,
What?
all independent work.
What the
That'd be
fuck?
that hard.
I'm gonna fail.
Come on with something. You look at the questions.
Okay, so
Difficulty equation.
we want to look for the maximum height of the grappling hook. Do we need to use the quadratic formula?
No.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
H and K.
No, because we just need to know height.
H and K.
And do we even need to know H, really?
No,
Yeah.
it's K.
No, we just need to know K.
But you need to both.
Okay, because we just want to find how high, and K is your height. Remember, because it's X, Y. So All you really have to do is the K part of it.
Okay.
Okay, so we have A equals -16, B equals -32, and C equals 5. 4 times -16 times 5 minus -32 squared divided by 4 times -16. So 4 times -16 is, see, that's 64 times 5 is 320
What the heck are you doing?
minus 1024
What?
That seems about
divided
right.
by -64. Did I get those right, Carson?
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So then 320 minus 1024 is going to be too hard on me. 320 divided by -64, or divided by -64 is going to be,
Wait, why is it negative?
give me 5 minus,
Yeah, it's -3.
It's 11.
I'm still gonna, I can cancel those out.
What?
You can?
Yeah, because you already have what you need.
So that leaves me with 5 minus 1024 over -64, or 5 minus 1024.
5 minus -10.
Wait, how did you?
No, 5 minus.
What the five?
Let me see how I did that.
5 came from, what's the other equation on?
Yeah, 5 is C.
Oh, I see.
Technically came from the marker.
But you don't need C, do you?
Well, that, now that we canceled it out.
Okay, so then that would give me
Oh, no, we didn't
negative,
cancel it. Yeah, you do need C. Because C minus B squared is. If that's the case,
this isn't working the way I wanted it to. Let me take that part out. Okay, because it's not, I did something.
because
I did something
technically
wrong.
that's together, isn't it?
Where did C come from?
The
Yeah.
marker.
320 is already
Okay.
times 5.
Yeah, so that's negative,
It's -7 over 3, -3, oh wait.
negative 1344 divided by -64.
Something like that.
Is that right? And that equals a positive 21?
Yes.
So yes, you could.
Hey, 420.
Okay, so my K value, K equals 21. Can I throw my grappling hook high enough to reach the ledge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a foot to spare, so I'm good as long as I don't stand in the hole. Make sense?
Yeah.
I have a question. It's not on this, it's like from, I was, how do you do worth of each K and K. To standard form again? Where you have the vertex, like say, maybe 1, 3, and then you have A equals 1, and you put it back in the standard form.
This one. The green equation. Okay, so guys, that was a good question because the reverse, this was to find the vertex from a quadratic equation. If you have the vertex and you want to find the quadratic equation, it's this green equation.
What's the A that?
Okay?
If you just have a vertex, where do you get A and X?
It gives you A.
Yes, where's X? Is X just X?
I don't know, mine's in Texas.
Wait a minute, what? You had an ex? Were you married?
All my X's are in
My
Texas.
X. It's a song.
Are you kidding? If I got out of one, I would never make that mistake again.
Oh.
Luckily, I have these grandmas.
It's okay, I tell her that all the
I
time.
don't want to keep you up, man. Quit asking.
Oh, bro, you're sick. Whoa, bro, you're killing yourself.
We can view this at 2 different numbers.
As long as we get through them, we can deal with
Alright, let's do the next one.
it. Okay, so this is the last page of them.
Dunk the ball.
Right, we skipped doing these yesterday so that we could celebrate Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, let's celebrate Dr. Seuss today.
I don't like
And
that.
for all next week.
Right, so these are pretty much the same problems,
But different numbers.
but they're different.
I don't like this.
Oh, it doesn't like you.
Salt, I would be zero.
How long do we have to do this?
You got a few minutes.
We actually.
There's no to do that.
We actually have like 20 minutes. Wow.
GB.
Got it back. They get released during lunch. Okay, so the first one here, solve for the zeros.
Wait.
That's kind of all. I got to -3 plus or minus square root 32.
I'm still doing it.
It's negative 3. It'd be negative 3 and it doesn't die.
So, what's the first thing you have to do?
Find A, B, and C.
You have to set your equation equal to y or to 0.
Oh.
So you have to get everything on the same side. Okay, and get everything on the same side, so you're gonna have,
Shut up.
it's gonna become x squared minus 3x minus 3.
Equals 0.
Okay. So that's gonna,
Equals y?
y or 0.
Okay.
A lot of times we'll just say 0,
But wouldn't it just be the exact same, even if you
but your signs change, these become negatives.
do? Oh,
Okay?
so.
So you'd start out with a negative 3. It'd be a positive 3. A equals 1, B equals negative 3, C equals negative 3. That gives us negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 3 divided by 2 times 1, or 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 4 times 1 times negative 3 is negative 12. So if I'm going to subtract negative 12, I'm going to add 12. Or 3 plus or minus the square root of 21 over 2.
That's as far as we go.
Can I take that any farther?
Yeah. You could do the square root of 7.
But they're not perfect squares, so you can't do this. You can't take the square root. Okay, you only want to reduce it if you can actually do something with it. You only want to reduce it if you can do something. So there would be, the zeros are 3 plus the square root of 21 over 2 and 3 minus the square root of 21 over 2.
Oh. That's number 1?
Number 2, we're going to sketch the graph again. All right, what kind of graph is it going to be?
Wait, you haven't.
It's gonna be
It's
camel.
What's those?
Camel hump.
Work it out.
Okay.
Camel
Let's get you
hump.
started on it.
What's the camel hump one called?
A
Camel
minus.
hump,
Just what's it called?
that's what I call it.
All right, it's gonna be the camel hump.
Okay. They're all parabolas.
Oh,
Okay.
native problem.
This, anything that's this shape, those are parabolas.
No.
Okay, parabolas, they're spelled like parabola.
You know dragons are real?
Are they? Were they?
They were. They could breathe fire and fly. Serious.
I thought that was just in the aircraft.
That's you.
Well, that brought you back into the eligible range.
That's what
You already checked that?
Good
All right.
job, Baja.
You guys working this out, number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a parabola, then we need to just solve, originally we start out solving for the vertex. you get the vertex? Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you get?
H equals -3 and K equals
K equals 1 or negative.
Wrong.
I can't really tell. It's 4 or negative 4.
4 over -4 would be -1.
Negative 1?
Sorry,
You're close. Okay, so H and K. H is negative B over 2A, so -6 over -2. Because A is -1, remember A is -1, B is 6, C is -10.
that's why
Duh.
I didn't put 10 as a negative in mine.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Okay, so -6 over -2 is +3.
Where do you see 10? I don't see 10.
Right, because they're both negatives.
Oh, that
The
one.
negatives cancel each other out.
I was looking at the wrong one.
Okay, remember, when you've got a fraction, if you've got, if numerator and denominator are both negative, then it's positive. If either one is negative and the other is positive, then your fraction is negative. Okay, so that's H. Now K is 4 times -1 times -10
40.
minus 6 squared divided by 4 times -1. Or -1 times -10 is going to make it positive, so 4 times 10 is 40 minus 36 divided by -4. 40 minus 36 is going to be 4 divided by -4, which is equal to -1.
Yeah, I got it right.
Okay, so I have 3, -1. Okay, are you following me?
Yeah, but on the board behind you, it doesn't say anything about subtracting b squared.
Yeah.
No,
Yes, it says right there, Julie.
okay, and
4AC minus B squared.
that's right. Now,
It's easy to forget that B squared. And remember, if B is a negative number, you square B before you subtract it. Okay, so in this equation, you are always going to be subtracting. Because if B was a -6, it would be the same answer. B squared would be, -6 squared is the same as +6 squared. So my vertex is 3, -1. So if I draw a little graph here, and I start out, my vertex is going to be there. I'm going to have a U or a camel hump.
Camel
yeah,
hump.
Camel.
Camel hump, so am I going to have x-intercepts?
No.
No.
No. Oh. Okay. So,
Oh, yeah. That's
it's going to look like that. Okay, the important thing you're going to want to be looking at when you are taking the test on a problem like this is the vertex where you're looking for it to be, and does the U go the right way? And that should solve your answer. Okay, and then number 3. So number 3 is going to be like the previous number 3 was. We're interested in this part here.